Do you know what's funny? I never planned to see this movie. It just happened. Age of Ultron is directed by Joss Whedon and it stars Robert Downey Jr. Wait a minute. I've done this already. So, what movie am I reviewing? Hold on a minute. Sorry everyone, it's actually Age of Adaline. So, Age of Adaline stars Blake Lively, Harrison Ford, and Dario from Game of Thrones. And this movie is about a woman played by Lively who has a standard life. But one night, she gets into a car accident, and then a bolt of lightning strikes her car, and now she has the ability to never age again. Now, does that sound wonderful? You stuck at the age of 29 and your body never wrinkle? It's a wonderful dream! Well, think again, because it's actually pretty depressing, because the woman has a daughter, she starts to age, she gets old, and then the mother stays young. People start to get suspicious why she is still young, and on top of that, she starts meeting these guys, and she wants to fall in love and be together with them forever, but she keeps on running away from town to town because they are going to age. And it's sad seeing our lovers age and you don't. And that is the highlight of the movie. So, let me tell you how I came across this film. I saw the trailer several months ago and I wasn't really intrigued. But then months later, which is now, I was out with several friends. We spent our time at the theater watching a marathon of movies. But then we came across a conflict where a person wanted to see this movie and the rest wanted to see... oh man... Poblart Mall Cop 2. But at least it's better than Hot Pursuit. But still, I didn't want to go through that garbage again, so I purposely watched this movie instead and... meh. It was alright. The concept for this movie sounds really interesting. A woman gets a curse of living forever. The premise sounds a little interesting, but the question is, how is the story going to be told? How well is going to be executed? And I got to see that. There were some good moments, although there were some pretty annoying moments too. But let's get to the good moments first. First of all, the lead in this movie did a fantastic job. You see what she's going through and you know the challenges that she has to face. She does have her moments where she is happy, but for the most part she's pretty depressed. She wants to get something, but it feels like she can't get her needs met. It's not like she asks for all of this. She gets into a car accident and now she's like this. And there were a few scenes that were pretty heartbreaking, including a tragedy which I'm not going to get into. The guy in the movie, he did pretty okay. There's nothing much to say. I guess I can say is that he's a man who doesn't know why she's like this, and he's dating a woman who is pretty much older than him. And one of the themes in this movie is beauty, and that looks can be pretty deceiving. I mean, how many times that happens to you? And if you are 100 plus years old with a 29-year-old body, wouldn't you be embarrassed? Exactly. Harrison Ford in this film did a very wonderful job. He gave it his all and put on a great performance. Now, unfortunately, I don't want to say why he's in this film, but when you know the reason, it gets pretty intense. But that is the problem. The movie sometimes has some pacing issues. As soon as this woman has this curse of pause aging, things get pretty interesting. But then the second act comes, and there are some times that the film just drags on, and it's sometimes hard to pay attention. You understand what is going on, but there are some points where you just shift out of focus. Then the woman and the guy meets Harrison Ford, and that's when you pay close attention, and that's when things get really tense. But for some parts, it kinda gets you bored. Also, there's this narration in the movie which you think it's only gonna be there in the trailer. The part when a woman gets into a crash and the thunder hits her. There's this male narration that goes on and on and on, shoving everything in our faces. And for a moment, it felt like we were listening to an audiobook of some kind instead of watching a movie. And then it happens again towards the end of the story, and I don't think we need that. For the trailer, it's fine, but to hear that for 5 minutes throughout the movie, it's pretty ridiculous. But overall, this movie is meh. It's okay. I don't consider this film to be a must-see film. I don't think it's really something you should see necessarily in theaters now. It's a pretty good movie to rent or buy on DVD. I don't know. It's pretty good. The performances were great. You feel for the characters. There's some intensity, but there could have been more work relating to the pacing and other things. So I'll say give this film a shot if you want. Age of Adaline gets 6 Adalines out of 10. Or instead, you could see Age of Ultron. It sounds familiar. So that is my review of Age of Adaline. Thank you for watching. More reviews on the way.